In this report, I asked the question, should I slow travel in the USA or internationally right now? So what is slow traveling? I'll show you pictures of the places I've slow traveled while I discuss. I'll provide a link at the end so you don't have to take notes. Let's talk about the old way people traveled first and then contrast that with slow traveling. Traditionally, people would only have a week or two off work per year. In Europe, they would have a month. People would fly or drive somewhere, do everything fun in that place for their holiday, and then fly home to their job. That's how the world used to be. A different kind of travel is becoming more popular now. When you slow travel, you don't go home for weeks, months, or even years. You just slowly move forward, exploring places. Once you feel like you have seen enough of one place, you move to another place nearby and explore that. You just stay in each place as much as you like, and then you move on. You slowly move forward, exploring the world. Originally, very few people could slow travel during their working years. A few people like me had online jobs, so they could do their jobs anywhere. They could work anywhere that had reliable internet. I called it geographically irrelevant income until someone gave me a name, digital nomad. Digital nomads didn't have to rush home because we could make money with our laptop. Slow travel was also a lifestyle that many retirees would live. Many retirees slow traveled in their recreational vehicles because it was cheaper than staying in hotels or furnished apartments. But then COVID-19 happened. Some people worked for companies that required them to work from home. Many companies temporarily closed their offices. In industries where employees worked in cubicles, they just stayed home and worked on their laptop computers. Some people decided to leave home and work from other places. Some people visited family or friends or rented Airbnb apartments far from home. So long as their internet bandwidth was good, their boss didn't really know where they were. Home could be at the beach or the mountains, so long as you got your work done. Some companies even offered employees the right to live wherever they pleased. A few companies adjusted salaries lower if the cost of living was lower where the employee decided to move. Many companies found no reduction in productivity. With stable productivity, smarter companies started to ask themselves, why do we keep paying rent for office space where nobody is working? Suddenly, a large portion of the population can work from home, no matter where home is, so long as they have a good internet. So suddenly, slow traveling became available to more traditional working age people. It wasn't just the digital nomads that can slow travel. So if you can do your job on a laptop, you have to decide. Do you sit at home? Do you move somewhere else permanently? Or do you just slow travel the world through a series of temporary homes? Maybe you'll decide to do what I do, stay in each home for a few weeks or months, and then explore somewhere new. If you decide to slow travel like I do, then you have to ask the next question. Should I slow travel in the USA or internationally right now? To answer that question, you need to find out the following. Number one, how much bandwidth and latency do you need to do your job if you're still working? Data entry requires about 0.5 megabits per second. If you're just doing data entry type work on a client application communicating with a business server in your home country, 0.5 megabits per second should be enough. If you need chat and email, you need about 1 megabit per second. If you have to be a part of Zoom calls, group Zoom calls, you need about 3 megabits per second for Zoom group calls. Latency is a factor in video calling and gaming. You need to keep your latency under 150 milliseconds. Netflix streaming requires about 5 megabits per second. But do you need this for work, or is that just your entertainment? If you're finding any value in this video, could you please like, comment, share, or subscribe? That would move us up in the search rankings and grow our channel. Thank you so much. Okay, number 2. Which countries are open to citizens of your country, and how long can you slow travel in that country before you have to exit? Visit this kayak resource on the webpage to find out what countries are open to citizens of your countries. And what are the terms of entry and how long can you stay? They're all covered on this webpage. 3. Are there adjacent countries open to you that you can cross into when the visa period for the first country you enter ends? To reduce your expenses, it's best if there are multiple countries you can traverse in a given region of the world before you go fly somewhere else to continue your slow travels. The more time you spend in adjacent regions of the world, the lower your annual flight costs will be. For example, we've flown to a part of the world and stayed there for 6 or 8 months with a one-way ticket. You might need an onward flight depending on the terms and conditions, but you can get onward flights from some web pages for as little as $15 or $20, which you'll need to enter some countries. Okay, number 4, of the countries you're allowed at this time to enter, what countries have the bandwidth you need? You'll need to access this resource link provided to know the maximum possible bandwidth you can get in that country. If the country has the capability you need, it doesn't mean the owner of the Airbnb you'll be renting has purchased that level of service. So that requires number 5. What is the speed of the internet router available at the places you want to rent? Email a few of the Airbnb hosts in the city you want to visit and ask them to run this ATT speed test and send you a screenshot example given. Have them do a screen capture with their smartphone and email it to you. There's directions here how to get a screenshot with your Android or your Apple smartphones. And here is the screen capture of the router in our apartment in Mexico. It shows you the up speed, the down speed, and the latency. 6, is that router dedicated to the unit you're occupying, or is it shared with other units? Ask the Airbnb host if the apartment includes a dedicated router inside the unit that is not shared with anyone, or do multiple units share a router that's out in a public space somewhere. I actually email and ask these kinds of questions to reduce the chances I'll be disappointed in the working conditions when I arrive somewhere. But even after that, I usually book for a short period of time and only extend the full period of time once I've verified the working conditions in person in the place. Make sure to visit my report on how I find perfect apartments slow traveling the world, link provided. Okay, in conclusion, now you know why so many people have decided to just slow travel in their home countries right now during the coronavirus. International requires much more research and planning. For me, I plan on slow traveling the world internationally until I'm in my late 70s or 80s. Then I will probably buy a small RV and travel around the national parks in the USA. That way I can take advantage of the free medical care for seniors in the USA in my later years. I note that you can travel freely in your home country, performing only above steps 5 and 6. Just contact Airbnb hosts and have them run ATT tests and find out if their router is shared or not. Then jump in your car or RV and start driving around your home country. But the above procedure for international slow travel has become routine for us, and we identified Mexico as a place we can go, both me as an American and Chung as a Malaysian, for 180 days each without getting a visa. Plus, we can head south into Guatemala once our 180 days in Mexico has expired. Click the more information in the description below this YouTube video to get my written notes for the 6 steps that help answer the question, should I slow travel the US or internationally right now? While at that link, grab a free copy of my ebook, How I Fired My Boss and Traveled the World for 13 Years. Or watch my video, How to Make Money Online with Your Hobby. My goal is to make this channel better every day, but I need your help. Please leave your new topic ideas, your criticism, and other thoughts in the comments below this video. This is Dan of Vagabond Awake, the YouTube channel for vagabondbuddha.com. The world is your home. What time will you be home for dinner?